Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the studio. Today, I don't know what we're doing. I feel like I say that every episode where it's like, because when I wake up in the morning, I'm just like, okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna hit record and we'll see what happens. We'll do the little intro because I feel like it gives kind of that raw, like, oh, I just woken up, let's start the day kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. But anyway, I don't know what we're doing just because after that big ol' thing, the what's it called? Bundle that we got from the coworker, we are I don't know. I have nothing else to show. I guess I can show you guys what the closet's looking like right now. So this is the inventory closet, never mind all the other stuff in here. But the inventory closet is looking pretty nice. I mean, we have a box of games over there. This stuff isn't important. There's cords in that thing. But then we've got that shelf, and yeah, not too bad. So like, obviously humble beginnings. We have a lot to go. My goal is basically to just fill up this entire closet with stuff. Might get like a dresser or something to organize all the games. Maybe do like a tested, untested thing, because I should probably start testing stuff well before I open the doors, so I don't have to do all of that. It would be easier to test the games that I have, like the 200 games I have now, than to test the like 4,000 I'm going to have when the store opens, right? Speaking of which, I do need to get some test consoles. One of the things I am looking for actively is a backwards compatible PS3, which would be the perfect test console because it can play PS1, 2, and 3 games. That's the 60 gigabyte PS3 that came out at launch. They go for about like $250 to $300, I think. So if I can find one of those, I'll absolutely snag it up. And that will be the tester console for those 3 systems. And then I'll have a PS5, which will probably do the PS4 and 5 backwards compatibility. A Switch, a 64, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. Today I have to go to work and I'm starving right now, so I'm gonna go get some breakfast or something. But I have to go to work and then I'm off at 12:30, and then I'll probably do DoorDash after that for more monies. And then, I don't know, I guess I'll come up with something when I get home tonight. But I'll see you guys then. What? Yeah, don't say. So I got off work a little bit ago, and I'm home now. I did check, since I forgot to mention it yesterday, the Mario Galaxy 2 was in fact in the Wii, so that is good to know. So I'm sure that the other games we were missing were probably in the Xbox Series, or the Xbox One S and the Xbox 360. I'm sure both of those have games in them, so we'll check those out for sure. But I'm off work now. I didn't do any DoorDash today because I am a little burnt out. Not on DoorDash specifically, but just on constantly working nonstop. So I'm taking a night off. Just got some drinks, got some food. I'm chilling. So I'll be back to grinding tomorrow morning probably, but for now, I'm taking a little bit of a reprieve. I need to figure out what I'm going to do today for the vlog, because I really don't know. I don't have a lot to talk about or do. I'm sure I'll find something, but maybe I can start work on the What's That Rare Game? I don't know. Still on the fence if I want to do that series again or not, but I think it might be kind of cool. But it is just another thing to do on my plate, so we'll see. But yeah, I will see you guys in a bit with something. Alright guys, today I do have kind of a little bit of a list I want to go through. And on the title of this video, you obviously know that it is the Hidden Gems list. These are going to be hidden gems from consoles that I love. I kind of picked out a handful of my favorite hidden gems from basically my favorite consoles to collect for. And I don't know, I feel like that would be a pretty good list to do tonight. Obviously, we don't have a lot going on today, as, you know, I did work and then I came home, and that was pretty much all that today had in store.
Some of these daily vlogs are not going to be very substantial, as I've said, but I still want to share a lot of exposition with you guys, I guess, considering a lot of people don't know what I'm about and where I come from in the world of video games. So I feel like this will also be a nice archive for people who go into my game store or want to talk to me at the game store or at conventions or whatever. These are kind of like cool little games to talk about. And it's like, if you know that these are the games that I like, then maybe, you might have good recommendations for me as well. Please let me know in the comments if there are any amazing hidden gems that you have on any of these consoles, or any consoles for that matter. And we can talk about it. So for right now, I'm going to start with my probably favorite console to collect for. At least it's up there. And that is the PlayStation 1. I'm a huge PlayStation 1 stan. I love the PlayStation 1. I think it is a very amazing console. Gigi, hello. Welcome to the vlog, even though you were just in the last clip. It's an amazing console, especially with the screens that they came out with. I've played so much stuff on those screens, from, Metal Gear Solid, Super Puzzle Fighter, Turbo, and etc. And I've had so many good memories with those. And what's crazy is that like the PS1 was obviously before my time, because obviously I grew up with the PS2 and the GameCube era. But I loved going back to the PS1 and seeing like the polygonal graphics have such a like charm to them. So I don't know. But either way, the number one PS1 hidden gem is obviously going to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. I talked about it in my top 10 games list. It's obviously a hidden gem. I mean, it's jumping more into the mainstream now because of how popular speedrunning is becoming, and it is the most like beginner-friendly speedrun, I feel like, because there's not like a lot of complicated routes to learn. It's literally just like learn the basics, do it fast. Like that's pretty much all there is to it. Other than that, I mean, I don't know, like PS1's got like such a good library, and I feel like everyone kind of knows what's the good games and what's the like not so good games. Another like, I don't know if hidden gems, the word I say it's a cult classic, would be like Klonoa Door to Phantomile, I think is the one on PS1, Phantomile. But Klonoa games for sure, very solid titles. You've got your Persona 2, you've got Grandia, these big giant adventures for sure. But whether or not those are super hidden gems, I don't really know, but PS1 has some very good stuff on there. Huge, extensive library. Next, we've got PS2. We've got Musashi, which actually there's a Musashi game on PS1, but it only, the sequel on PS2 is also really good. I actually forget the subtitle for it. Let me look that up real quick. Musashi PS2. It's got a really good cover art done by, who is it? Nomura? Is that who it is? The guy who did Kingdom Hearts. Literally, it's the Kingdom Hearts artist. He did the designs for this game, and it's published by Square Enix. It's called Musashi Samurai Legend, and it is a really good title for PS2. It's really fun. The combat kind of reminds me of Nier Automata, like a very early, gruff version of Nier Automata. But yeah, Musashi Samurai Legend, highly recommend it for PS2. It's not a very expensive game, and the case is really nice because it's that distinctive PS2 Kingdom Hearts style. So very nice piece to have in any collection. I highly recommend you be on the lookout for that game. As well, I mentioned it earlier, but Inuyasha Curse of the Mask for PS2, another amazing hidden gem. Talked about it when we picked it up in that bundle. Very good JRPG, super engaging, especially if you're a fan of Inuyasha. Highly recommend it. And then next we'll move on to Nintendo 64. Sorry if these are a little rapid fire. I had a lot of systems picked out. I just kind of want to talk about like a brief overview of the hidden gems without making this vlog too entirely long, just because there's not a lot to do today. So there'll be more fun and excitement in the coming week. But either way, we've got N64 Glover. Glover is a really good game, classic. I feel like people are harsh on that game for some reason. Like it's not very well received by some people. and I'm not sure why, because it's a very solid title. It's really fun to move around Glover and control him, and he's got like, there's like a lot of really cool puzzle solving in some of the levels, along with that like collectathon-esque thing that old games used to do in the N64 days. So really cool, classic. Oh shit, what am I doing? PS1, by the way, Alundra, very expensive title, but a very hidden gem on the PS1 for sure. If you have not played Alundra, emulate that shit right away because it's so good. It's $150 complete, so don't recommend buying it. I do have a complete copy because it is an amazing game, but I did want to mention that for PS1. Back to N64 though, aside from Glover, you got Jet Force Gemini, which I'm sure people have heard of, but it's just like a really fun little shooter, like third-person shooter on the 64. I just remember having really good times. Holy shit, Gigi, what are you doing? Okay, well, Gigi just knocked some shit over, so that's super cool. But yeah, it's a really good little, I think multiplayer. I think it's up to 2, maybe 4 people, but I remember playing with my brother and cousins back in the day on the 64, and it's just a really good time. It's not expensive either. I think it's like a $15 64 game. Maybe it's gone up in popularity nowadays, but very fun, very good time. And then another one is Tetrisphere. Tetrisphere I actually used to play with my grandma, and she loved that game on 64. And it's just like a little, it's just a simple like Tetris type game, but it's in a sphere, And I don't know how else to describe it, but I highly recommend you check it out. Very good game on 64. And then next we've got the Game Boy Advanced is the next system. And that is going to be a hidden gem on there is Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters. If you haven't noticed by now, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! But the games are like surprisingly good. Like, because a lot of them don't follow the typical, what's it called? The typical Yu-Gi-Oh! Format. It's their own rules for these video games. And Dungeon Dice Monsters, it's very faithful to the actual like spin-off game, Dungeon Dice Monsters. So I highly recommend, if you're a fan or if it's interesting to you, Dungeon Dice Monsters on GBA. It's the perfect little grab and go kind of game. Next we've got the Nintendo Wii, which has a couple of really good ones. These are 3 really big titles. One of them has incredibly grown in popularity and has become more accessible than it ever was back in the day. But the first one is Last in Shadow, a very fun little 2D platformer with like really cool twists and turns and stuff. And I think it's pretty expensive now, but Last in Shadow is a really cool hidden gem on the Wii. Next is Tamagotchi Party On, of all things. It's like I bought it for $3 last time I found it out in the wild, but it might be more now. But Tamagotchi Party On, incredible little party game for the Wii. If the Wii did anything right, it was party games. So it has no right to be as good as it is, I'll be honest, because it's literally a Tamagotchi game. But it's just like a nice little Mario Party spin-off or clone, I guess, with some pretty fun mini games and like a really cool economy system. So I would recommend that, as well as Dokapon Kingdom, the ultimate party game. And I had a video on my channel a long time ago of me gushing over Dokapon Kingdom because it is the greatest party game ever made. But it is a very good title on the Wii. It's obviously on Switch now, as it is, the Dokapon Kingdom Connect came out, and now you can kind of play it at any time with anybody. I have it. I have played a fuckload of it by myself. But the original on Wii, obviously. And if you do want to play it, I highly recommend just getting the Switch version, or I think it's on Steam now, actually, too. So Dokapon is more accessible than ever, and it is the best party game ever, like hands down. I 1000% believe it is the best party game ever made. Next is a really interesting one, because this one is expensive as fuck, and you can't actually play it unless you're playing the DS version. I mean, yeah, you can emulate it, but let's be honest, it's not as fun. DS games are never as fun, unless it's a Pokemon game. Those are fine to emulate, but I feel like DS games, other than like Pokemon, don't really, especially if it utilizes the stylus really well, you really want to play those on the actual console. And this one is going to be Magician's Quest Mysterious Times, which is basically an Animal Crossing style game, but with wizards. It's like Harry Potter cross Animal Crossing, and it's really fucking cool. Because you like go through your schooling and you learn new spells, and you like go in dungeons and stuff. You meet the members of your like town. It's really fucking cool. The only downside is that this game is like $200 now, complete. I think. I actually don't really remember what the price is nowadays, but I know it's expensive. It's in that like 200 ballpark estimate. But if you find a copy, or if you do just decide to emulate it, I highly recommend it. It's so good. Next is GameCube. GameCube, obviously, one of the best systems ever made. No contesting that. And I've got 3 really good titles for you guys tonight. Number 1 is Amazing Island, which, if you have not heard of this game or seen this game, it is literally just so interesting, because you create these little like guys, and you have them compete in like tournaments and stuff where they can like fight other dudes, and little mini games where they get stronger. It's kind of like if Duck Life, the old Flash game, were made into a full-fledged GameCube game with a lot more shit. But very fun, very satisfying little game there on the GameCube. And a quick little fun hidden gem that's a nice little fighting game, of all things, is Zatch Bell Mamoto Battles. Zatch Bell Mamoto Battles is a anime fighting game based on Zatch Bell. But it is just so charming and really good. Not very like substantial. It's not super long or anything, and there's not like a ton of characters to play as. But it is a very just fun, simple little GameCube game. So if you're into fighting games, and like if you've ever watched Zatch Bell as a kid, highly recommend that one as well. And then the last one on GameCube is going to be, a lot of people have probably already heard of it, but it is called Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem, which is a very fun, very cool GameCube game where it kind of fucks with you mentally. There'll be times where if your sanity is too low, the game will like freak out and make you think that your save file had been deleted, or it'll like enter a room and it'll be upside down and mirrored or some shit. So it's a really fun psychological horror game, and I highly recommend that one to anybody. I feel like I said highly recommend it a lot, because I do, but it is a fun one. It's a really good time, and it does a lot of things different, and that's what I like about it, because I love my horror games. Speaking of horror games, the next one is going to be on the Wii U and Switch, because they recently put it to Switch, and it is Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater, which, if you guys know of the Fatal Frame series, it is one of my favorite horror series, because it does this interesting, unique thing where it forces you to confront the scares. You have to fight the scares, because you don't have a weapon. You can't fight back against the ghosts. You literally got to take pictures of the motherfuckers. So Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater is literally the best one in the series that I've played. It originally came out on the Wii U, and you could use the Wii U gamepad as your like camera, and you'd have to take pictures of the monsters and the ghosts. And it was really fucking good. I played a lot of it in the Wii U because it was a free download, or it was like a free demo is what it was, and then I paid for the full version. And it was a Wii U eShop exclusive for a while. And then it like disappeared, obviously, because the Wii U services shut down, and then they finally ported it to Switch, and it's still so amazing. It's such a good fucking time. Not to say that the original Fatal Frames weren't good. They were amazing too. I think the original Fatal Frame on PS2 was scarier overall, but I feel like the mechanics and everything in the story of Maiden of Blackwater is way more engaging and fun. So if you ever want to pick that up on Switch, it's a good get for sure. And then one I forgot to write down, but I just thought of while doing this list, is a quick little PSP hidden gem, which would be Work Time Fun, which is what the fuck. It's WTF. That's literally the name of the game. Work Time Fun is a very simple PSP game that has a lot of little mini games, and like you do them. It's got like that little knife game where you like put the knife between your fingers and stuff. and you like nickel and dime your way to money to buy more, I think more video games, more mini games and stuff. It's a very interesting little romp, and if you have a PSP emulator or if you have a PSP, go for it. Warp Time Fun is a very inexpensive game, I'm pretty sure. I think it's like a $10 game, if even that. Yeah, it's a good time. So anyway, that's it for my quick little hidden gems list today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I had some footage for you guys. I kind of feel like this video would be boring if there weren't like little footages to go along with what I'm saying or the games I'm talking about. But we'll see if I put that much effort into the editing. I don't usually do that. So let me know if you guys do enjoy these like list type episodes. Obviously every day can't be something fun to film when I'm just working all the time. So, but I still want to vlog every day. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you tomorrow for more fun and games. Peace out.